guys, come on in.
Hi, thanks for having us today.
Yeah.
Okay,
Welcome to our humble abode.
So what are we walking on right now?
So these are the catwalks. This is how we are connected to all of these lights that are over here. Back there, those are the electrics. There's some more catwalks over there too.
That's about it for out here.
Okay, so how would you describe your fellow co-chief?
Silly.
I think you're quite silly yourself, but they're definitely my more like responsible counterpart. They're willing to yell at the children when they're being too loud, and I'm just there to crack jokes.
What's one emoji to sum up the lights crew?
A firework emoji.
I don't know if I see that.
I see that. I see that really hard.
Yeah. We just kind of have like a mess of cords over here. So those are all sorts of craziness. And then over here, those are gels. We can put those over the I don't know, the tops of the lights, the part where the light comes out. And then it will make the lights all sorts of different colors.
Very cool. Okay. So how do you guys keep your focus during long performances?
I mean, usually no, we don't usually take turns during performances.
I mean, kind of. We kind of switch off who's like running the board and who's helping out with spotlights. And normally it's just a lot of like keeping an eye on the like stage, like actually listening to your headset and to what they're singing. It's tough, I'll admit. I'm not always that locked, but I do my best.
And then it's also something like it is a show. It is made to be entertaining. And even though we've seen it so many times, like seeing it on show night is a completely different experience. Partially because everybody knows what they're doing for the most part then. Cannot say the same for rehearsals. So this is the booth.
Nice.
Technically this room is the lights booth, and that room over there is the sound booth, but sound mostly just lives down by the stage. There's more random chords in there, but yeah, all sorts of stuff in here.
So are you guys like close with sound, or is it? So tell me about your relationship with the sound crew.
So we're actually lifelong enemies. There is currently a truce, but I don't know how long that's gonna stay true.
Look at the stage, and you're like, there's a war.
Yeah, we hate them. They took our little rooster, like, hostage and threw him out the window, and they're meanies, and I hate them. Love you, Sound.
So who is this rooster?
This is Red the Rooster. He's been here as long as I've been here, probably definitely longer. He's our mascot. He's our buddy. He's our pal. Been through a lot together.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so what's the poster over there that I?
Oh, our
the
poster.
Minions.
This is our Minion poster. I think it's owned by the Votes, who've been like Lights crew chiefs in the past, and there's one on our crew right now. But every rehearsal, you run up and you tag your Minion. And I'm currently feeling this one.
Is there one laying on the ground? I don't think there is. See, these are usually, the minions are too, like, energetic. I never feel this much energy, you know? Like, yeah. Yeah.
Not even on show day?
I'm being punched by the boxing glove of life. Quote me on that. That's really poetic.
So what are these computers used for? Tell me about it.
So these monitors are connected to these boards here. These are all faders, so, like, we could, let's see, what did we had one programmed for the song Razzle Dazzle, in Chicago, so each of these would be connected to one of these different lights, and they can be connected to multiple lights, too, I believe, but it's one of those things, we move the fader up, the light turns on, we move it off, it turns off, so then we would kind of just, like, go like this, and the lights would kind of sparkle a little bit, not sparkle, that's not the right word, but, like, fade in and out, so
Razzle dazzle.
Exactly, they would like razzle dazzle. This is mostly what we use. We don't use a ton of faders, really.
Oh, is this me? Okay.
Yeah.
This is where we do all of the programming. When you put this up, it's just like the rinkiest, dinkiest little Windows computer. But it costs a lot, so therefore it's good. And then you can select like numbers of lights, you program it, you get it how you want, and then you save it. And then by showtime, you have all these cues set, and you just hit play at the right moment, and it's really easy.
Yeah.
Super cool. Okay. And so speaking of shows, what's your favorite show so far you guys done?
Honestly, mine was probably my first show, which was Beauty and the Beast. I don't remember it that well, TBH. I just remember that we had a pretty small crew, not as small as when we had Chicago, but here I can see this. We had a pretty small crew, and I remember I had one spot for Gaston. That was my favorite spot. He stood on that table when he was singing Gaston. I love that song, y'all. Yeah, but I think the set was pretty cool. We had these, maybe it wasn't, I don't remember. No, okay, me and Anna, during one of the set build Saturdays, hand painted like 50 different foam stones that were like this big. It was horrible. I still have clothes covered in the paint from those stones. It never came out. But every time we look down from the booth, we ought to be like, that is our fireplace right there.
Oh. My favorite show is probably Christmas Carol, because we had all these cute like hanging light bulbs over the stage that were really annoying for sound, so that's a pro. And we like dropped snow. It was just really sweet, and I never really cared for the story of Christmas Carol, but it was just a really good show.
Also, shout out to Michael wearing the as the Christmas Ghost of Christmas Future. That was really cool. I loved that. Like, there was just, the lighting was cool. Like, the story probably wasn't my favorite, but I think effects wise, like, that was a really cool show.
Super cool. So with the past show that you guys just finished working on, Chicago, which character do you think you guys are most like?
Mr. Cellophane. I don't know why.
He
was the one character that I liked. What was his name?
Amos?
Thank you. Thank you. His whole thing is that he gets forgotten all the time and people don't appreciate him enough. That makes me sound like I have a big ego, but like I just loved him. Everybody else was like really ambitious and they all kind of hated each other. They were also weirdly like, no, never mind. That's not true. Never mind. Everybody else was just kind of weird. One good character in that show for real.
Interesting. You know, I would opt for Amos Hart. Because, you know, yeah, part of me would say Mr. Cellophane, Amos Hart as well. Because, you know, sometimes just feeling a little shy, a little doormat-like. But also, I feel like I could relate to any of the other characters who were just there for, like, a fun time. Like, literally me.
I'm trying to think, what's one of the cell block girls? Like, whoever the popping gum girly actually felt girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I relate with her a lot. So what are these lights over here? Are these the spotlights?
Mm-hmm. These are our spots. They're used for a lot of movement and like they really have a lot more impact than the program lights can. Chicago had a lot of them just because it was like Chicago.
Yeah, very spot heavy.
But it's just like to follow people around, to really like highlight them on stage. It's fun.
Super cool. And how do they work?
You plug them in, you turn on the fan because it gets super hot. So then it helps it from exploding. You turn on the spot, and then normally we have like a little scope up here, which we call a spot dot, which you would look through, see a red dot, and then you can see where you're aiming it. And then this is for brightness level from 0 to 100, and then this is size, from big to small. And you just like set it, you would tape where you want it for each cue, and then when people call it, you can go to that cue, and then you just turn it on, and then they're lit. And it's lit.
Okay, so with the spots and the board lights, do you guys prefer using either one?
We haven't really gotten a big chance to program yet. That was something that Jared Keeble, current West alum, former West High student, he's now goes to the university and is doing stuff with that there. Came in and did that for us, which was great. So after kind of observing, we were able to program the lights for the Spit Show and the Little Theater. That's a much more basic board. I enjoyed that a lot, but I think there is something to say for spots. You do get a very like direct impact on the show is you are holding the light that you can see on the stage, and I think there's something to say for that too.
I really like learning the board because it's just a lot of guess and check, and you just kind of figure it out by figuring it out. And it just like is really satisfying to be able to like think of how you want the lights to look and then press all the keys that you need to press and then have it look like that. And it has a lot more like cool like effects that you can do with like fading and the faders. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That's the interview with the co-chiefs of the lights crew at Theater West. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Come see The Sound of Music in April.
Early April.
Yeah, it's like the 11th through the 13th, I believe.
Okay, catch them at Sound of Music.